150 years of Democrat oppression. I came across this video by April Chapman, who deserves full credit for piecing together this timeline of Democratic oppression. You can find her on YouTube under Unshakable with April, as well as on TikTok at Unshakable with April. Shout out to her. Fantastic video. She puts together the timeline that the mainstream media will never put in front of you. History doesn't lie. It just, you can just look at the pattern. She laid it out plainly, and it's time to stop pretending history isn't repeating itself. So I took it upon myself, for those of you guys that may not have seen this video or may want to go and look for it, just to kind of again, go over the fantastic job of that April has done. And like I said, she deserves full credit for piecing this together. The Democrats, love to scream about fascism, tyranny, and threats to the democracy. But the uncomfortable truth is that they've been the tyrants all along. And I personally never realized how deep this goes until I watched this video by April. For over 150 years, Republicans have had to use the federal government to drag Democrats kicking and screaming into doing what is right for the American people. And if you guys are following current events, if you guys are following the current trends, this is happening all over again. So I want to go over what April has done a fantastic job of piecing this timeline together. So here we go. 1865 to 1877, after the Civil War, Republicans passed the 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendments to abolish slavery and give free men, equal rights. Of course, the Democrats refused to comply. The KKK, born out of the Democratic Party, terrorized black citizens and Republicans alike. Federal troops had to step inside and protect them. 1878, Democrats passed the Posse Comitatus Act. I hope I'm saying this correct. A move to handcuff federal troops so they could no longer protect freed slaves. Why? Because Democrats wanted their old plantation power back and needed to enforce voter suppression and segregation. This laid the foundation for Jim Crow laws. 1957, Little Rock, Arkansas. Democratic Governor Orville Forbes, man, I suck at saying names, blocked black students from entering school. President Eisenhower, Republican, had to send in the 101st Airborne to escort them. 1962, James Meredith became the first black student admitted to the University of Mississippi. Who tried to stop him? Democrats. Who sent in federal marshals to make sure he could attend? The U.S. president. 1963, Democrat Governor George Wallace literally stood in the schoolhouse door to block integration again. Federal troops had to escort black students into school. 1965, despite the 15th Amendment, Democrats refused to allow black Americans to vote. The federal government had to pass the Voting Rights Act just to force them to obey. 1970s, Weather Underground. Democrat radicals bombed U.S. buildings trying to overthrow the system. Same chaos, different uniforms. 2020, Democrat mayors called BLM and Antifa riots mostly peaceful as cities burned. Trump had to threaten federal intervention to restore order. 2025, and now here we go again. Charlie Kirk, an American patriot, assassinated by the same culture of hatred, lawlessness that Democrats have thrived on since Reconstruction. Charlie Kirk was targeted because he stood for everything the left hates. He stood for faith in God. Democrats have removed him from their platform. He stood for the nuclear family. Democrats want to redefine and dismantle it. He stood for freedom, liberty, and American opportunity. Democrats thrive on control, chaos, and dependency. Look, make no mistake, Charlie Kirk is a martyr. His life and death are proof that Democrats do not simply disagree with conservatives, they despise us. Their ideology cannot tolerate light, truth, or faith. Darkness hates the light. And the assassination of Charlie Kirk proves it once again. From Lincoln to Kirk, the Democrat blood trail is clear. 1865, John Wilkes Booth, a Democrat sympathizer, assassinated Abraham Lincoln. 1870s to 1960s, Democrats unleashed the KKK, lynching black Americans and Republicans. 1960s to 70s, Democrat radicals bombed buildings and spread Marxism. 2020, Democrats cheered while Antifa and BLM torched cities. 2025, Charlie Kirk's assassinated, and instead of mourning, Democrats weaponized his death. The tactics haven't changed, just the uniforms and names. It is still intimidation, fear, violence, and lawlessness. Aren't we all tired of this yet? I mean, how many times does history need to repeat before America wakes up? How many more patriots need to die before we see the Democrat progress? It's just a cover for oppression, violence, and control. April Chapman nailed it. Democrat tyranny is not new. It didn't start with COVID mandates, sanctuary cities, or woke DEI. This is their brand. From slavery to Jim Crow, from riots to assassinations, it's the same blood-soaked playbook. Victims. But let's be clear. His voice will not be silenced. His legacy will not die. His faith for faith, freedom, and family will multiply. We don't mourn like people with no hope. We mourn like people who know God raises up leaders, preserves remnants, and multiplies the seeds of martyrs. Please share this with everyone. Share this everywhere before big tech buries it. Pray for Charlie's family. And never forget, the truth is on our side. History is on our side. God is on our side. Once again, a shout out to April Chapman for putting this timeline together. Please follow her on YouTube as well as TikTok. And of course, if you like this common sense content, repost, save, comment, like, and follow me.